Timeout right now, and that's a blood timeout. So it looks like James Green will be attended to, as well as Hank Stinson.
And let's give a tip of hat to all the trainers and everyone and the doctors that were here this weekend, because they were on top of everything, and they did a magnificent job of getting these kids back on the mat, wrestling, and taking care of their injuries.
And we will remind you, folks, if you don't get a chance to see all the matches here from Boardwalk Hall, you can pick up the Star Ledger tomorrow. They'll give you a great review. Take each match apart one at a time, and you'll get the opportunity to read Bob Baer about wrestling just one more time before the season comes to a close. We're back.
I'm looking forward to his team champion. I really am. After seeing the finals down at the Taco Center, I'm really interested in who he's going to have in there.
Time winding down on Hank Stinson's opportunity and his career here. He's going to have to get going quick. You see we approach 10 seconds left in this match. And James Green doing a great job. Stinson working hard now for anything. It's 5-3 now. Stinson gets 2 for the takedown, and we're tied at 5. Just like that, and he's going to get back points. He gets them at the buzzer, and guess what? Hank Stinson did what he came to do. Jack, we didn't think we could see it get as exciting as it could that late in the match. Hank Stinson 7-5 final, and give him credit. Boy, did he save everything he had till the end. We are at 145 pounds. Frank Croco of Passaic Valley, a senior. Taylor Walsh, another senior from Camden Catholic. We mentioned Walsh, the 135-pound champion last year.
Yeah, this should be another barn burner, Bobby. And we're going to see this all day. We're going to say this about 1,000 times before the day's over. Great talent. Unbelievable. We have Frank Croco out of Passaic Valley. Had a 39-0 record. The senior rather. And then you have Taylor Walsh. He's also a senior. And he's 36-4 on the season.
Well, we mentioned Walsh, the champ, moved up the natural progression, Jack, went up a weight. Actually went up 10 pounds, 2 weights to 145. That's kind of rare where you go up that many weights. But Walsh, the Walsh family, great wrestlers, and out of Camden Catholic, the state champ at their level, not unexpected to have this kind of talent.
Well, during the week, Walsh had very bad flu symptoms. I don't know what's the difference between having symptoms and having a flu. To me, they're the same. But he's been fighting that off all week, and you know how that can knock you out a little bit, and he's just doing a magnificent job considering.
And Frank Croco had a great tournament here. He beat Cobb from Williamston 8-1 in the semis, but he beat the state champ, Baldacero, 9-5 in the quarters. This is a kid with unbelievable upper body strength for a 145-pounder.
Yes, he does, Bobby, and he knows how to use it also.
You see the time. We're past the 1 minute mark here in period number 1 at 145 pounds. Taylor Walsh, Frank Croco.
Well, Croco was seated 4th, Bob, in the top bracket of this weight class. And in the bottom section, Walsh was ranked number 1.
And Walsh was a loser, Jack, to Baldacero in the regions. He finished 2nd in his region, while Croco was the Region 4 winner. And pretty amazing that the region just so strong. That Region 7 is just unbelievable wrestling.
They had a great showing this year all the way around.
And these are 2 guys. This might be one of those low-scoring matches where you might get it because you have 2 guys with 2 totally different styles.
Exactly, Bobby. And they didn't wrestle each other a whole heck of a lot, I don't think. But we'll see how it works out. Yeah. Now they're getting a little more aggressive. There you go.
That
Beautiful
quickly, takedown. 2 points for Walsh.
That was an explosive takedown. He just leaped at him like a tiger and wrapped him up and brought him down.
That's one thing as period number 1 comes to a close. One thing you have to say about this, you cannot blink off this mat and center or you could miss some action. So a 2-0 lead for Taylor Walsh as he tries to get his 2nd state championship in 2 years, this time at 145. He was the champ at 135 last year. And in the semifinals, Jack, he beat Burge from Kittatinny 7-2, and that was a nice win for him because Burge was a tough opponent.
Oh, Bob, I just sat there last night watching, and there was just so many talented wrestlers out there. It was impressive that the guys could beat them like that because they're just also talented.
And you see the scores up there, so you know this was those were matches, those semifinals, where guys went out after it and went out to fight it out and, get here.
You want to get to the finals. That's the goal. You want to win the finals, but you got to get there first. And when you make it to the semifinals, the adrenaline's pumping. You just can't wait to get out there. And when you finally win it, exciting.
Well, we remind you we are live from Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Bob Lebline and Jack Farrell here on the FiOS One Star Ledger NJ.com High School Game of the Week. It is the 2010 version of the New Jersey State High School Wrestling Championships. And if the first match, Stinson and Green, was any indication of what we're going to see, folks, you are going to have one heck of an entertaining day.
Oh, I just know it. I'm not even guessing anymore. This is going to be one of the greatest we've had all in the 4 years we've been down here.
Well, Jack, I think what makes this such a great one and potentially such a great one is so much talent at every weight class.
And the thing that's changed over the years is not so much the lighter weights. They've gotten stronger physically, but the speed of the higher weight classes has really impressed me this year.
Walsh had another takedown just before that timeout to give him a 4-0 lead. So Taylor Walsh has opened up a nice margin here for himself about halfway through this second period.
And Bob, these guys had a lot of bouts behind them. They're both seniors. Walsh is 141-15 through his career, and Frankie is 106-14.
Walsh had that 2 to make it 4-0, and then Croco had the escape just now. So now it's a 4-1 match, Walsh over Croco.
And he got to the out of bounds, and now we're going to start in the middle again.
And you see 56 seconds left in this second period. 4-1, Taylor Walsh on top of Frank Croco. Croco from PV, Passaic Valley, and Walsh from Camden Catholic.
They're just feeling it out a little bit here. Looking for an opening.
I've been amazed that Walsh was so easily able to take down Croco. We know Walsh is great with his takedowns, but Croco usually able to fight that off. And again, a 4-1 lead for Walsh over Croco here at 145 pounds.
Well, it's nice that those flu symptoms flew away for him so that he could really compete at his best.
Here came the hard part for him. He just popped the contact lens. So he only sees half of Frank Croco.
Yeah, but he found it quick enough, so his eyesight can't be too bad.
You're right. Can you imagine if everybody had to start looking for that thing here? Final 25 seconds here of period 2, 4-1. You see it, Walsh on top of Croco.
Right now, Walsh has to be gaining confidence in his ability to take him down after 2 takedowns.
I think it's pretty amazing the fact that he has been able to control Croco's strength, which Croco used to defeat everybody on his way to this final.
Mm-hmm. Like you said, different styles sometimes don't match up for one guy.
We are set for period number 3, as you see, the 4-1 lead for Walsh here as he tries to survive this final 2 minutes and pick up his second consecutive state championship.
Well, he's got a long way to go, 4-1. You see him now, he just keeps trying to drive. He's going to try and turn him now.
Tried to roll him, but it didn't work. A good job there by Walsh to maintain.
Now you got to think of back points here now in the third period. You're on top. You want to try to get him to roll. You want to try to get him to his back and pick up 2 or 3 points on the back points. Oh, somebody started a little too soon.
You're not in that mode yet, Jack, where you let the guy escape and try to get the takedowns, are you?
Not when you're down by 3. If it was
Caution to red that time. And the red being, of course, Passaic Valley and Frank Croco.
Now sometimes when they start from that position, the refs have different styles of blowing the whistle. And sometimes if the guy takes just longer than you're anticipating, you're ready to jump. Because it seems it's only a heartbeat. There you go.
Great reversal by Walsh. He now leads it by a score of 6-1. So Taylor Walsh well on his way, unless he makes a big mistake, to another title.
That was a quick move on his part, too. Now it's desperation time. He just can't get away from him.
Well, Walsh, that long and lean kind of 145-pounder, has done a nice job, and he has some long arms, Jack.
He certainly does, and when you have someone like that, it's very hard to break away once they get their own wrist, when they grab their wrist around you.